What are we talking about today? Well, I've got this thing about this time thing at the moment, and I was chatting with somebody and I was thinking, where have I ended up compared to where I was going to be? Are you the same? Stay tuned and find out what's happened. It's been a crazy ride. Welcome to Hymie's place. I'm glad you could join me again. Thank you to all the subscribers, and to you new subscribers, thank you very much. And for those who wanting to subscribe, just hit that little button down below and everyone will be happy. What am I talking about today? Today's a pretty casual one actually. It was funny. I was walking down the street with a mate and we were having a bit of a chat. And we were thinking about where did we think we were going to be when we were at school? What were we thinking where our life would take us? Now, being nearly 60 years old, not too far away, looking back on where we thought we would be to where we've landed is two totally different things. When I was at school, I thought I was going to become a lawyer. I had good marks and so forth, but I wanted to have a year break. I wanted to have a bit of a siesta semester break from school, but my father didn't want that to happen. So he gave me the ultimatum, my house, my rules, you don't like it, piss off, for want of better words. So what did I do? I pissed off. I was 17 and I left. I left home, I left school, I left the state and I come up to Queensland. I jumped on a bus and got off here in the place called the Gold Coast, right, which was pretty exciting for a young fella. I ended up back here now. I've been here for 20 odd years, but in the meantime I landed here, but this is not where I ended up staying. I ended up becoming a beach bum for a little while, doing a few things around the beach, but then I had to work. I had to get some money. The little bit of money I saved up from working as a kid disappeared, so I needed to get some money. So I done everything. I basically done cleaning. Cleaning was my first job. I wasn't qualified for anything else, so I started cleaning, and I found getting cleaning jobs was quite easy at that time. I mean, we're talking 40 years ago now, so 40 plus years ago. So getting a cleaning job wasn't too hard. Just phoned around and went into places. I ended up cleaning everything from hospitals to office buildings. Even as I've done another trip back to Victoria later in life, I ended up cleaning down there, cleaning the gas and fuel laboratories. But I ended up cleaning, and that was not my ambition to become a cleaner. I was going to become a lawyer. But for the first part of my life, the only thing I could do was clean, because I had no experience with anything. Yes, I delivered newspapers and prescriptions for chemists, and I'd done odd jobs at an antiques shop where I used to help fix antiques and restore antiques. But this is always school jobs. These are all school jobs. These weren't real jobs. I needed a real job to get real money, to pay real rent, and make a real life. Okay, I didn't realise how tough it was going to be, but I did end up doing it. It was okay. It was okay. It was good. It was a good grounding experience. And then after that, I hop skipped from here and I went up to a place called the Whitsundays. Now, for you overseas visitors who don't know the Whitsundays, the Whitsundays is like the Caribbean islands, but in Australia. 74 beautiful islands up in the Whitsundays. Absolutely magnificent place. It's the Bahamas of Australia. It is just beautiful. It's white sandy beaches, beautiful weather, very tropical, very hot, very steamy. I just fell in love with that place. And I ended up there for most part of my early life. I ended up there for a good, off and on 20 years, but full-time for about 16 years. I ended up sailing. Of all the things you can do. I became a sailor. I was taking people out on the boats, which was fantastic. I used to drive the boats and take them all over the place. I used to sail around the islands and find little coves, and we used to go out to the reef, and it was a life for a young fella. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun. That's why I stayed there so long. I met my first wife there. We had the children there. It was just a beautiful place for everybody. It was a magic place. It's one of those places that you go to visit. You don't live there, but to live there was just amazing, just amazing. But then I grew up and I had to get off the boats, and I started working 3 or 4 jobs to build the house and do all the things that you do. It's one of those things of life, isn't it? You have to look after your family. I had a stepson and 2 kids under three kids under the age of 6 with a step-son, so you have to get into reality. I had to work, and proper work, not sailing boats. I mean, that was fun and good and everything was fine, but it's not really what a wage you could bring your family up on. Working up there, which led me to come down here, back to the Gold Coast, many years later. But working up there, I started businesses, and I had pizza shops and other things, a fancy dress shop and all types of things. I went through all types of levels there, but it was good. But I never thought, while I was at school, that I would be doing that. It never crossed my mind that I would be doing that. And I look back now and I think, wow, some of the stuff that I've done. Now, since I left the Whitsundays and I come down to the Gold Coast, I've been in a couple of businesses. You'd be quite surprised to know what those businesses are. But anyway, when I was out the other day, I had a chat with these two young girls that I run into about where their life is compared to where they thought they would be when they were at school. So we'll have a quick listen to what they say, and then I'll come back and I'll fill you in on the rest of my life. Where am I now? All right, be back soon. Hello, thank you. Thank you for joining Hymie's place.
Thank you.
And what's your name?
Isabella.
Isabella, beautiful name. And where are you from, Isabella?
I'm from Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah.
Which part of Brazil?
So it's a city near São Paulo.
Ah, São Paulo.
Yeah.
Big city. Yeah, lots of people. What is different now from when you were a child at school? Where did you think you would be? Has your life changed, or is it headed where you wanted it to be?
I think it's heading where I wanted to be because I wanted to travel, so yeah.
So you're travelling and enjoying?
Yeah. I didn't think much of my future, but yeah, I wanted to travel, so.
You wanted to travel, so you've succeeded at where you wanted to be? Yeah?
Uh-huh.
So you can look back at that little girl and say, good on you. You've done it. You've done
Absolutely.
it. Okay, let's start first. What's your name? Judy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Judy. My apologies.
Oh, no worries.
And you're from Mexico?
Yeah, I'm from Mexico.
Oh, welcome to Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping me with Hymie's channel. Okay, I appreciate it. How is your life different than what you thought it would be when you were at school?
Well, now I'm working in a Mexican restaurant, which is really good because I never thought that I was going to work in a Mexican restaurant being in Mexico.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but it's cool because I'm in the other part of the world working, making my own food.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you never imagined yourself when you were a 10-year-old, 12-year-old girl at school?
Yeah.
That you would be in Australia making Mexican food?
Ever. No, yeah.
Amazing. You had life changes.
It's amazing, yeah. Uh-huh.
So I just thought I'd throw those in because I did ask the girls the other day and it'd be a shame not to put them in. But anyway, it's good to hear, but they're only young girls, so they've still got a lot of life left to go. But with my life, what happened after that? After the Whitsundays, I come down here to help a mate out in electronics and computers. And within a day, I learned how to build computers and so forth. And then it just went on and on and on. And we ended up having a business, my business partner, and we started a business where we manufactured internet kiosks or internet vending machines where you put your $2 and then get on the internet. Now you see them in airports and hotels and places all over the world. Well, I was a major manufacturer of those in Australia. We ended up with 22 franchisees around the country. Lots of business. It turned into a fairly big business, but unfortunately the GFC hit and that sort of ruined that one. But when I was at school, I never thought I'd be a prime manufacturer of internet kiosks in Australia. That, I look back at that now and I go, wow, there you go. And then after that, I ended up in real estate. I'd had a short stint in real estate before when I was up in the Whitsundays, when I was doing other businesses, but it wasn't my business, I was just working for somebody. This one I started a real estate business, which I never thought I'd do. I got my real estate license and my ex-wife and so forth, and we started up a fairly successful little business in real estate. Now, who would have thought? I wouldn't have thunk it. So I was in real estate for a few years, and then the last few years I've been driving. Driving people around and sailing boats, not too much difference. You're taking them from one place to the other. I've got beautiful weather, I've got beautiful things to do with it. But so at the moment I'm driving. That's my job. I mean, when it comes back, it's not really lucrative at the moment. I've got my own little business in driving. I drive people around. And I also work for those other companies like Uber and Giddy and so forth. I've got a couple of income streams there, but at the moment with the tourism, unfortunately there's not much in store. I'm looking at moving on onto another job, which will include driving, but not so stressful. I just cruise around now. I just try and take it as easy as I can, which is a good thing. Yeah, that was really my life. Bit of how do you say it? Zoom, 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 up and down. And did I ever think I would be sitting here talking to you on YouTube, explaining to you about my life when I was that kid, when I was that 12-year-old kid? No way in the world I would have known about this stuff. No way in the world. This is science fiction. Internet, talking things, watches, and phones. Only Dick Tracy had that stuff. And if for you youngers that don't know Dick Tracy, go and look him up. It was a cartoon. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not complaining about my life. I've had a good life. I've had a couple of beautiful children. What more can I say? That's what we're here for, to procreate, as they say. So yeah, no, I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with the way things have gone. Not spot on with the other things, but you know, I wouldn't change it for quids, as I say. I wouldn't change it for quids. So, anyway, look, let me know about your life. I'd be interested to hear. Did your life change from when you were that 10-year-old, 12-year-old to what you are now? Where did you expect to be? Are you where you expected to be? I doubt it. Most of us wouldn't be. I know that for sure. I appreciate you calling in and looking in, and for those that are new that haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Button's just there. And I look forward to chatting to you again soon. So thanks for your time once again. All right, let's see where we end up in the next 50 years.